Hi, I'm Dorothy Poole, Lead Information Developer for BMC Software. In this video, I will demonstrate how to add, configure, and enable a BMC Atrium Orchestrator adapter. Adapters establish connections and facilitate communications between BMC Atrium Orchestrator workflows and external applications and support systems. To use an adapter, you must first add it to a BMC Atrium Orchestrator grid. Then you need to configure the adapter to establish connections and facilitate communications. Finally, you must enable the adapter on at least one peer on the grid so that workflows and processes can use the adapter. Before you begin, you need to have installed BMC Atrium Orchestrator platform and content. Verify that the adapters that you will be adding to the grid are in the repository. You should be logged into Grid Manager. For information about installing the BMC Atrium Orchestrator platform and content, as well as adding content to the repository, see the BMC Atrium Orchestrator platform wiki. First, I will add an adapter to my grid. In Grid Manager, select the Manage tab, and then select the Adapters tab. The Adapters in Repository table on the left displays all the adapters in the repository. The Adapters on Grid table on the right displays the adapters that are already added to the grid. Select the adapter that you want to add to the grid. If you want to add a previous adapter version or revision, click the plus sign next to the adapter and choose the version or revision. You can only select one version or revision of an adapter. Do not close the parent node or the selection will be deselected. You can select multiple adapters to add to the grid. I am going to select the file adapter. Click Add to Grid. The adapter is now added to the grid. It appears in the Adapters on Grid table. Next, I will configure the adapter. The configuration provides information about how the adapter interacts with the associated BMC or third-party application. You can create multiple adapters with the same adapter type to allow for different configuration properties, but each of these adapters must have a unique name. In the Adapters tab, Adapters on Grid table, click Configure for the adapter you want to configure. I am going to configure the file adapter. This adapter performs read, write, append, and delete functions on a file. When you click Configure, the adapter configuration page opens. The page displays the fields and properties that you can configure for the adapter. You can configure the property elements using the Form view or the XML view. The field and properties settings vary for adapters. While I do not need to modify the properties section for the file adapter, you will want to configure this section for some adapters. You can find details about each adapter's properties and fields in the BMC Atrium Orchestrator Content Wiki. For example, for information about configuring the CSV adapter, see the wiki page for configuring that adapter. A table on the page lists the configuration elements, and the page includes a sample XML configuration for the CSV adapter. Now I will configure the file adapter. In the adapter configuration page, type a name for the adapter. In the description field, add a description if you want one. I will leave this blank for the file adapter. As I mentioned before, I do not need to modify the properties section for the file adapter. If you want to set up a custom log file for the adapter, provide a name for the log file. Change any of the default log file settings as needed. You can specify a different log file size limit. You can enter the maximum number of backup logs to be created. You can specify that the log information be appended to the existing log file. If this option is not selected, the log file contents are overwritten with the new log information. You can provide the logging level. The info level logs normal execution and error conditions. For a description of the other logging levels, see the platform wiki. When you finish configuring the adapter, click OK. Click Save. The file adapter is configured on the grid. Now I will enable the adapter on a peer. Select the Peers tab. In the Peers list, select the peer on which you want to enable the adapter, and then click the Edit Selected Peer icon. In the New Adapters section, click Enable. Select the adapters that you want to enable and click OK. Click OK again to close this window. To verify that the adapters that you enabled are running, check the Status page. Select the Status tab. Click the grid name. The adapter's status appears in this area. A green icon indicates that the adapters are running on the peer. This concludes the Adding, Configuring, and Enabling Adapters video. For more information about managing adapters, see the BMC Atrium Orchestrator platform wiki. For more information about configuring a specific adapter, see the BMC Atrium Orchestrator content wiki. Thank you.